Hello everyone and welcome to this video. In this video we're going to take a look at Storm of Spears RPG for the PC. The game was released in 2016 and is produced and developed by Warfare Studios. The game is a retro 16-bit style RPG, and as I'm sure you're all wondering, is this game any good or not? Here's more details on what Storm of Spears has to offer gamers. The game's story is set in the once peaceful world of Galaga, which has become enslaved under the evil rule of an evil queen. Led by their leader Soren, a band of mercenaries are the only hope left to save the world. Soren eventually leads this new rebellion that's then created in order to get revenge for her brother's death. As the leader of this new rebellion, you're tasked with building an army that are willing to risk their lives for the good of the kingdom, and this is where your adventure really begins. The game's story itself is very well written, and I'm surprised, and it did take me a little by surprise, because the game is very cut scenery, which I wasn't really expecting, and there's loads of sections within the game where characters are seen conversing with each other at practically every single event. The game's cast of characters starting off with 4 individuals: Soren, who is the leader of the group, who is a swordsmith; Felice, who is the last of her kind; Adrian, who is another type of swordsmith; and Georg, who is your magic user. As the game's story progresses, you learn more about each one and go through various quests, and through those quests you can learn more about each of their individual history. The game also has a whole host of various other characters that you can interact with, take requests from, and do battle against. There's a lot of characters in this game, so you won't be bored anytime soon. Gameplay for Storm of Spears plays a lot like that of the very old retro RPG games that you could find on the Sega Master System and the Super Nintendo. The gameplay is a lot like those, but with slightly better graphics, and instead of them being 8-bit, they're 16-bit. The gameplay consists of you going through various cutscenes between characters as the game's story proceeds, to you then walking around a town or village, collecting quests, talking to people in an area, and from there you then proceed to a dungeon area and do combat against various enemies to boost up your EXP, so you can then face that area's boss. Battle consists of the general what you would expect from these type of RPG games from yesteryears. You have the ability to attack, use magic skills, and a whole host of others. However, because of the type of graphics engine and such used in this game, it does all feel rather limited. Storm of Spears has some nice graphics, and they were created via RPG Maker. The game has gone for the retro 16-bit style looking graphics from that of the SNES and the Mega Drive, and the game does do a fair job of representing those games from the past. But as I have mentioned, it does use everything via RPG Maker. And while RPG Maker is good and offers developers a large amount of resources which they can use, there does come a point where the developer will be limited on what they have available to them graphics wise. So while I feel the general appearance of the game is nice and everything, when it comes to the actual combat of the game itself, it does feel very lacking. It feels lacking with stiff to virtually no animations on characters, bosses just being static objects, and characters themselves appearing rather small and squished. And I do understand that RPG Maker is limited on what it does have available to it and developers, so there really is a fine line here on what you, the gamer, should expect from this game when it comes to the game's graphics, because remember, it is made by RPG Maker, and there is a limit on what that can actually produce. The world of Galaga is nicely done and well created, with various locations that you and your companions will travel to, be it from cities, the huge forest, to open areas and snowy plains. There's a lot of locations to be explored and lots of people to talk to. So even though you are exploring a huge open world type area on the world map, once you're in a location, there's quite a lot to do. The locations are well created and thought out, and they're much bigger than I was originally expecting them to be. There isn't really much else to say besides the fact that this was the developer's first game, and considering that this is a first, it's rather impressive what's being created from scratch. So, should you buy Storm of Spears? I would say yes, if it is on sale, or possibly if it's in a bundle. The game is very well created and has far more character interactions than I was expecting it to have, and the developer did put a lot of time and effort into creating their first game, and it shows. However, the game is rather short. You're probably looking at around 10 hours max playtime, and that's with you completing every side quest, killing every enemy, talking to everyone in the area that you meet, and that's essentially it. The game is rather short, but in a way I guess that's a good and a bad thing. It's a good thing because it never really feels too heavy, say like something such as Metal Gear Solid 4. However, it also has bad points in that in places it does feel quite rushed, or like something's missing. Storm and Spears is a good game which I think people from my generation would enjoy, as it's like playing those old games from the Master System and NES era, but with slightly better graphics and storytelling. Would I recommend this game? Yes, I would, but I would suggest that you search around to see if you can get it discounted somewhere. It's a good game, but it's very short, and it doesn't really have any replay value once you complete it. Once you finish the game, that's really it. There's no real reason to replay it again. So while it's good, it does have its good points and its bad points, so I would recommend that you want to get this game if it is on sale or in a bundle. Well, that's it for this video guys. Thanks for listening, thanks for watching, and please subscribe.